Good morning, AIMHO. Hopefully it's a beautiful morning at your host institutions. Everything is going smooth and you're ready to start your Monday. I'm Todd Justison, he, him, his, the Director of Residential Education at University of Utah, as well as the AIMHO President. So let's get this business meeting started. I'll share my screen. So I'm officially calling this meeting to order at 9:02 a.m. Starting off with, I would rather talk about number 3 first for number 2. So making a motion in a second. You're going to utilize the chat feature. If you're going to be making a motion and seconding the motion, please use the chat feature in there, and that's how you'd go through. So I would first start off with the 2021 annual business meeting agenda approval. Do we have a motion to approve? And unfortunately, I can't see the screen. I only see my screen with just the agenda. So there's probably somebody else I can have join the stage so can verbally tell me what's going on behind the stage. Thank you, Luke. So Luke moves to approve the agenda. And Michelle Cole Barnett is the second. Thank you very much. I'd now like to invite Megan to the stage or talk about the approval of the 2020 annual meeting notes. Hi, Lauren.
Good morning.
Just a quick clarification. Type on the stage. Okay, there we go. I can see on the stage is where individuals are typing. Sorry, I was looking at the event, but on the stage, it means if you're typing into the stage, gotcha right here. I can see where it's at as opposed to the event itself. Megan's trying to get to the stage. We'll just go ahead and stay with the stage. That's where we'll do all of our typing.
There we go. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the business meeting. So for approval of the last year's minutes, I just want to make sure there are no updates or edits needed. And then as a small note to myself as I'm making these minutes, if you could put your institution name in the chat as you make a motion or a second, that would help me a lot so that I have that. So there is the link to those in the minutes. I shared a link to this year's agenda in the chat box, and then I'll also drop last year's minutes in the chat for this stage as well, so that if anyone has any edits needed to those, you could let me know. All right. New Mexico Tech moved to approve the minutes from last year. And, and Chris Ralph's seconds and questions. Just joking. So thank you. It looks like that takes care of the minutes from last year. We're all good, Todd.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Megan. Why don't we go ahead and do a roll call at this moment? If you'll just type who's here just on the stage message, just so we can see who we currently have for our notes. Excellent. I know there's a couple more. All right, then. Continue on. Seems that we have 16 institutions represented. Just wait for a couple more minutes. I appreciate everyone hanging with me because this electronic communications is definitely not the not the fun that it has usually when you have a regular stage that you're sitting on, you're looking out to members, instead you're just looking at yourself on the screen. So thank you. Okay. We'll move into officers' reports. Officers' reports are going to be due by November 30th of 2021. So the president's report will stand as submitted. Kyle says, as is. Thank you, President-elect Kyle. Megan stands as is. Thank you, Megan. Richards stands as. Thank you, Treasurer. Angie Bradley stands as is. Thank you very much, Senior Member at Large. Okay, we got Technical Coordinator as is. Lauren Busby, do we have the interim member as large? Or excuse me, interim member? There we go, as is. Mike? As is, just make sure to check out the important conferences update from this coming week. So that was sent out last night by Brian. I'm not sure if I've seen Laura Taninger on here. So may have to have it just as vacant at this moment. All right. Northwest Cujo, Stephen Jenkins. Are you currently in our audience? Yes. I'd like to invite you to the stage for the Northwest Cujo update, please. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right.
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you. We can see you perfectly. Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. All right. Well, welcome from Northwest Cujo, and thank you for welcoming to your business meeting this morning. My name is Stephen Jenkins. I currently serve as the president for Northwest Cujo, which encompasses Oregon, Washington, Alaska, Yukon, British Columbia, and Alberta. And we welcome you from our not so warm portion of the country right now. So I bring you just a few updates from Northwest Cujo today. First of all, we are kicking off our own planning for our 2022 virtual conference set for March 1st through 3rd. As AIMHO and Northwest Cujo are affiliates, AIMHO members can join in for the same cost as members, which is the amazing price of free. Look in the next couple of weeks for updates about registration. We are planning for an on-site conference experience in 2023 in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, and dates for that should be announced at our virtual conference in 2022. Probably our biggest news right now is we are working on some board changes, and our ballot is currently out to our senior housing officers for that vote. And our desire with that is that hopefully we'll align our board more closely with our priorities, including adding a diversity, equity, and inclusion director that'll focus on DEI work internally for our board, as well as facilitate education more broadly for our membership. We're also looking forward to our first in-person board meeting in May, assuming conditions continue to improve. I was elected as president-elect 1 month before the pandemic started and have spent my entire time so far in the presidential cycle doing all of this remotely. I miss my colleagues, as I know you all do, and cannot wait to see some smiling faces again in person. Thanks to you all and to Todd for the warm welcome, and I look forward to seeing many of you at our virtual conference in March. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stephen. Appreciate your time. Thank you very much for being here. Always a pleasure. Glad to work with you, sir.
You as well. Thank you, Todd. And thanks to you all again.
Okay. Next, we have our IACR report. And I'm actually going to be giving the IACR report because unfortunately, Sam Dalton is unable to be here, but for good reason. He's actually getting a lot of homework done. He's preparing for his IACR conference, so he sent an update. So I'll be giving his PowerPoint for him. Share my screen. All right, state of the region. Sam Dalton sent this in last night. So there is all of their smiling, great faces, the regional board of directors, the 2021, 2022, and representative locations and host locations. 1-year platform. 1, assess the overall success of IACR practices, evaluate the why of conferencing and how to ensure we are providing the best service possible to our region, increase accessibility of and participation in regional policy and boardroom spaces and procedures. 3, evaluate and overhaul the iAdvocate service program to be more intentional and flexible as we meet the changing needs of our reps. That should probably be hashtag. I recognize that. At least I didn't say number sign. Number 4, continue fulfilling our mandate of fostering stronger relationships among the institutions of our regions. And number 5, increase rep engagement and build streamlined guides for campus transitions from student leader to student leader. RL Ski 2021 Exploring. the Slopes of Leadership on November 12th through 14th. So they're coming up here very soon. More than 200 delegates, 25 participating institutions, representatives from all 8 IACUR states, and first conference led by host committee. They currently have 21 award bids submitted in 11 separate categories, and new conference sponsors and special guests from across the country, including our then president, Kyle Oldham, will be speaking at this conference. Exciting upcoming opportunities. So you can work with us, the regional advisor, NACUR 2022 through NACUR 2024, conference advisor for November 25th through 27th. February 25th through 27th. You can join the Leadership Advancement Society of IACUR, LASI for alumni of IACUR who have made extraordinary contributions to IACUR on the campus, regional, indoor, national level. Nominate your favorite IA alum today. And support us through our store by donating to IACUR. Purchasing from the IA store is the best way to support our region, beyond the campus, and support initiatives, scholarships, and resource building for your students. Visit at iacur.square.site. And many of the shirts are $7, and I purchased a few of them, so please go on, support them as well. And 60 years of IACUR. Help us celebrate our diamond anniversary the right way. Over the past 60 years, our region has helped to build NACUR to what it is today, one of the largest student-run organizations in the world. As we prepare to celebrate our diamond anniversary, we need you. We need conference advisors, alumni panelists, and case study judges and supporters. Look out for applications and updates in the Mountain Monday. Sign up for our regional newsletter at iacur.nacur.org. Don't forget about the Spring Leadership Conference 2022, February 25th through February 27th. The best by far, established in 1961, Sam Dalton and Jamie Lloyd. And next, I'd like to welcome Mari to the stage. Or if you show, or your committee report, if you choose to do as is, or if you'd like to come up, there is announcements at the end.
So my report is as stands, and I'll share some announcements at the end.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for being here.
Mm-hmm.
Brian and Michelle.
Am I here? I'm not sure.
You are. We can see you.
Okay, great. So Brian and I will update our report after the conference. We want to make sure we put in the numbers in regard to participation and also if there is any changes in regard to our finances. One thing I did want to put a little plug in for is the escape room. And so that's Wednesday night. It's part of the AIMHO fun stuff. And also thanks to those of you who already went to yoga and to trivia last Monday. But unless Brian has anything else, that's all I had.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Shadeen and Corinne, report stands as is, or is there anything you'd like to announce? I may have skipped out. I thought I saw Corinne here earlier. Okay. Moving right along then. Jason, anything you'd like to report or anything or as is? Okay, stands as is. Not sure if I saw Danielle here. Anything you'd like to report? No problem. And there's actually awards and recognition. So Danielle Pellegrino, I don't believe, no problem, don't worry about it. Diversity and social justice, I don't believe I saw Taylor Dixner, or maybe, trying to scan up through the roll call. All right, hearing nothing. Marketing, anything, Jessica Velasquez or Jamie Lloyd, if you happen to be here. Hearing, and then Letha, perfect timing. Great to see you.
Good morning, AIMHO. My report stands as is. For announcements, I just wanted to remind everyone that we will be providing a help desk during programming days, so Tuesday and Wednesday. And that is going to be a session that is called Programming Committee Headquarters. So if you all are feeling lost, even as presenters or attendees, just pop in there. We'll be able to help you out, answer any questions. We got a decent amount of folks to complete their evaluations, but please remember we need your evaluations completed after every session. We will be using those scores in order to determine which session is the best of AIMHO and which are top 6. So please make sure you do that. And then last but not least, you all may have noticed that 2 of our sessions from last week did not happen. Those sessions were moved to sessions 6 and 8 of this week. So keep a lookout for the additions in the, if you click on sessions, you'll be able to see what's happening at any time. You'll notice that there are 2 additions to what we have going on. That's all from the programming committee. Thank you all. Can't wait for another good week.
Thank you, Letha. Always a pleasure seeing you. Moving on to old business, it's kind of a reminder. So based on the 2020 legislation, elections were held in October 2021, and we did receive quorum. The election results are the business administration coordinator will be Megan Chibanga. Continuing on, our president-elect, Catherine Nella Roche, and treasurer-elect, Emily Himmel. Congratulations. We've reached out to them, and we cannot wait to have you start joining our meetings and joining and being part of the executive and leadership team. Moving into new business, just a reminder that AIMHO 2021 or 2022 will be in person in Billings, Montana. I'm excited to be able to see everyone again. I'm excited to be off the electronic communications. It's a tough gig running these meetings only on electronics. I want to be able to see the people. That's the fun part. Moving into Richard. Present the budget, and then after the meeting, we'll probably then start working on get quorum so that we can actually approve the budget. Go for it, Richard.
So I'm happy to share the budget with everyone, present on what we're doing. There's one thing that I'd like to highlight for everyone, and that is that we are going through a major change with our association and our plans for the next year, going back to an in-person conference. And so we're going to see major changes in our budget from the current year to the proposal for next year. Because of that, I've included on this budget sheet the year prior to that, where we had planned for an in-person conference and then had changed. So you'll see that a lot of the proposal is based on the previous in-person plan for conferencing. So we'll just run through a few of the highlight sections here. First, the first thing I wanted to highlight that I didn't actually highlight in color is the association membership dues. We've steadily seen a decline over the past several years in the number of institutions who are joining our association. So I'm going to be working with our SPRs to reach out to institutions who haven't joined us for the last couple of years, but were long-time members prior to that, to see if we can bump that number. But for the time being, putting this at 10,000 as an income source for dues, just based on our current trend and where we're at right now. This is a goal to increase the amount from this year to the next, but it will take some intentional work there. The other highlighted sections I'd like to go through are the changes from going from virtual to not virtual conference again. So we're bumping our anticipated conference registration fees back up to the $55,000 range. This may come down as we've seen a steady decline in the attendance to in-person events as well. So this number may come down, but that is again a goal that we are going to set for this coming year. We're basing all of our pre-conferencing on the previous plan, and our billings personnel have given us a lot of information on where they're currently standing with anticipated costs. So we're right in line with where we need there. One major difference, this registration for Rapin was set at $20,000, but the note said that it was anticipated $150 per person with 200 people attending. The math didn't add up for me, so I redid the math, and it turns out that should be $30,000 instead of $20,000. So if we are going to shoot for a goal of 200 attendees at the Rapin conference, then the actual budget would be $30,000 there. And we're bumping back up our in-state drive-in conference monies again to help support those. So other things that have changed from last year to this year, our expenses for tax preparation, our insurance have gone up a little bit, and they are no longer going to fall within the previous budget amounts. So I'm proposing that we increase those budget amounts to be able to anticipate those increasing costs. As you can see, the increase for our insurance has gone up about $30, $40. I don't know if we're going to see that again next year, but if it continues on that kind of a trend, then the $2,000 will cover that increase for the next year. Same with our tax preparations, gone up, $11. So increasing it by $100 will help us to kind of absorb any future increase that we see there. Another major conference change, we've been spending about $99 per month for the hop-in process, and hop-in's nice and cheap compared to a lot of the conferencing software that we use to organize and put virtual information out to the conference attendees when we're in person. We're anticipating that of course will go back up to something like it was before when we go back to an in-person process, but we don't have any plans right now for which system or which company to use for that. So we're just basing that on previous year. We have canceled our GoToWebinar subscription. We're no longer using it, so that is going to be a savings to us of about $1,100, $1,150. So that's a positive for us. And then we're bringing back the booth. We'll always have, I didn't put it here, but they did have $375 there. And we are now including in the IACR support line for NACUR, as was requested and approved by the executive board. So that $750 will be something that I'm paying attention to see how much we're actually going to be using there for both IACR and NACUR. Everything else is pretty much copied over and planned based on the previous in-person plan. So the only other things that have changed, and these aren't changes, I don't know why I had them highlighted, is that because we're going back to in-person events, we're likely going to be sending our president-elect and other representatives around for the conferences as well. So we'll see that increase. Right now, I've got to check the math on this because I don't think the formula is working right. But it's showing that we're going to be over budget. Again, there's a lot that's going to be in flux and in play on this next year. So this budget will have to be adjusted as we move forward towards the next fiscal year. For your information, the next fiscal year will start on May 1st, so we do have some time to see how the rest of the fiscal year kind of fleshes out. One thing that's not currently on this budget is money that is forwarded from the previous year to this current year, right here on line 12. I need to go back and see what actually was forwarded to us from the previous year. It's about $22,000. And then we'll see how much we actually have moving forward into the next year. I anticipate something similar for the future, about 7,500. So that will kind of obliterate this negative number down here, but I wanted to have more accurate data before I actually put that number in there. The last 2 years going virtually has kind of thrown off how much we're spending and therefore how much we can anticipate to actually have in our coffers when we move forward to the 22-23 fiscal year. So that is the proposed budget at this time. Does anyone have any questions for me? Feel free to put them in the stage chat. And I know that these kind of questions could be a minute to type up, so feel free to take your time. Thank you, Mary. All right, not seeing any questions come up, I will yield the time.
Excellent, Richard. Thank you very much. I think there's one thing we'll take a look at after, but I think our corporate partners even showed up a little heavier this year, which would help out our budget even more. So I think we're in an even better place, but maybe anywhere between $2,000 to $3,000 more corporate partner sponsorship this year. Moving into the next wrap-in 2022. So definitely looking for, just try to also monitor the chat feature. So wrap-in 2022, definitely looking, where would we like to hold it? I've not seen bids to current day, but if there's individuals that are looking, if there's places that are looking, we're definitely going to be soliciting after the conference for anyone that would like to host it next year. Letha, is there any other announcements that you'd like to make in regards to the programming? Thank you very much, Letha. Appreciate it. Michelle or Brian, is there any additional that you'd like to make as the 2021 host committee? Okay, thank you very much, Michelle. I think we're good as well, which means we have come to the end of our meeting. Was there anyone that would like to motion to adjourn the meeting? Oh, we have an announcement. Mari, please come in.
Hi, everybody. Sorry to make the meeting go a little bit longer, but I wanted to give an update on where we're at with the foundation booth, which really wasn't my report, so I'm throwing that in now. Quick, for those of you who don't know what the Kuhoi Foundation does, it's the only nonprofit that supports the work of a Kuhoi. And if you're not familiar with the Kuhoi, that's like the parent organization for all of our regions. And they do a lot of support for research for our profession, advocating for our profession, providing benchmarks, providing professional development opportunities, lots of good stuff. And so my job is to try to get some support raised for the work of the foundation, because as a nonprofit, all the money comes in through donations. And I'm trying to do that this year through our auction site. So I would love for you to participate in the auction. Currently, we only have 26 bidders registered. And we've got a whole lot more people here at the conference. And our goal is for everybody at the conference to donate $1 or more, just $1. So you just go out and register on the auction website, make your donation. We have received donations from a total of 38 individuals. That includes the anonymous donation that was made in support of our undergraduate and graduate students. So if you're an undergraduate or graduate student, you're still welcome to donate, but somebody has made a donation in your names, quote unquote. We have raised $925 so far, so at 46% of our goal of $2,000. And there's still some amazing things out there on the auction website. There's a $200 Southwest Airlines gift card, and the bid is only $150 right now. There are a number of professional development conversation opportunities, 1 hour with current or past AIMHO leaders. Many of those are only at $10 right now. So you could have this great professional development opportunity for not much money. We've got a lot of $25 gift cards where the current bid is only $15. We've got hand knit throw and hats that are at really low prices. And we have Sony wireless earbuds that are valued at $250, and the current bid on those are only $100. And if you have stuff sitting around, you're like, gosh, I want to donate and support the auction, I'll accept donations until Wednesday. So please put those in. And then once the meeting is ended, because you don't want to do it during the meeting, right? But once the meeting is ended, I want you to go to charityauction.com/AIMHO. So again, charityauction.com/AIMHO, and register, and then make your $1 more donation or bid on some of those amazing items. So I look forward to seeing those numbers keep climbing through the end of the conference. Thanks, Todd.
Thank you. That's definitely an announcement worth having at the end of the meeting. Appreciate you taking the time. Thank you for representing Kuhuai and AIMHO so well. Any other announcements before we motion to adjourn? See charityauction.com/AIMHO. It's there. Click on it. I see no more announcements. Would anybody like to motion to adjourn? Michelle motions to adjourn from CMC, and move to adjourn by Connie Frazier. Everyone, thank you very much. It was great to see you virtually one way or another. I cannot wait to be in person to see all your faces again. Look forward to it. Thank you very much. We are adjourned for our 2021 business meeting.